Good evening and welcome to Channel 8 Sports and East Brunswick High School basketball. Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro, being joined by Phil Hill and Jim Allinder for tonight's game between East Brunswick and J.P. Stevens. Jimmy, we'll start with East Brunswick. They come in 8-9. This is a must-win for them, obviously.
Absolutely. We looked at the situation a couple weeks ago when we had games with Bishop Barr and Edison, and we sort of progressed to this point now where they do need this game to finish at the 500 record in order to qualify for the state playoffs. Talking to Frank Knottenberger, the East Brunswick coach, he does concede that even though if they lose this game tonight, they can probably qualify for the Greater Middlesex Conference Tournament, where they're not looking at it this way. J.P. Stevens is atop the Red Division, as Phil's going to talk about. They have to play their best game of the season in order to win. Yeah.
Okay, and Phil, Stevens comes in. They're 12-3. They're leading the division. Top team.
Top team, one of the better teams in the county easily. And you might think that they might take East Brunswick lightly, but they know East Brunswick needs this game for state championships. But they feel like they want to win this game so they can be undefeated in the Red Division. They have a big showdown with St. Joseph's on Friday, and they'd like to go in that undefeated. Also, by winning this game, they possibly can get the 3rd seed in the state, thereby avoiding the great Trenton Central team. So Coach Vin Cirillo has incentive for his team to do well tonight.
Okay, so it's East Brunswick 8-9, looking to get to 500. Stevens 12-3, looking to maintain that edge and maybe get a nice break in the seeding for the tournament. So we'll be right back with the East Brunswick-Stevens game in just a moment. Well, we're just about ready to start this game. East Brunswick, J.P. Stevens. And a big game, as we said, for East Brunswick. They come in 8-9. Here's the tap-off, and it's controlled by Trent.
John, we'll try to set the lineups for you as we go along. Of course, with the ball, Brian Forte, 32. That's Modesteski, 33. Ramon Twin, 23.
Trent underneath for the bucket.
2 remaining players for East Brunswick in the starting lineup. Brittany Willis, 54, and Larry Steenvoorden, 45.
Bravado, he's the playmaker. Outside shot, no good. Steenvoorden with the rebound. Shot taken by Zatorski. This is Forte.
And controlling the tempo of the game is going to be what East Brunswick wants to do tonight.
And they're going to call a foul on Bravado, going against Forte.
Well, Rocky Bravado will take a lot of chances. He averages 9 steals a game, and he has quick hands, so he'll be trying to get that ball.
It makes things go for Stevens.
Modesteski will take the shot and hits. Bears on top 4-0. Start of the game.
This is what Frank Knottenberger, the coach, wanted to get out front early and not get behind.
Well, quite frankly, they have to do that against this J.P. Stevens team.
Bravado being pinned in out to Newsom.
That appears to be a 3-2 zone.
Bravado. And it goes out of bounds. Go over to East Brunswick.
So East Brunswick daring Stevens to shoot from the outside. And Phil, this will be a man-to-man pressure by J.P. Stevens.
Typical J.P. Stevens.
Forte will pull up, take the shot. Won't go. Willis on the follow-up. 6-0.
I'll tell you got to like how the Bears have gotten out of the blocks. And as we point out, this is exactly what you got to do. I'm sure Knoppenberger has told them they have to play a solid all-around game in order to win this game. And it's a very important game.
And you can watch Bravado, number 20, move around in that zone.
Newsom looking back off to Bravado. He'll take the shot outside, 3-pointer, hits.
He's the specialist.
Well, Tony Bravado, a 3-year starter for J.P. Stevens, and Cirillo feels he's the best point guard in the county.
Forte will use the glass, won't go. Rebound, Bowen.
Ooh.
Here comes Newsom. It's a 6-5 game.
He's a good one, of course. Tony Newsom.
Newsom on the basket, but George Boehm off the boards. They say he's a Tony Mayers clone. He can leap out of the building.
Trent from the key, hits.
You know, if he gets hot, and he's 2 for 2 now in shooting, I'll tell you, East Brunswick will have a great weapon to counter the speed of J.P. Stevens.
Fast-paced action here, 8-5. The Bears by 3, first period. Bravado looking, and he'll throw it away. It'll go over to the Bears.
Oh, East Brunswick playing a great 2-1-2 zone right now.
Is that what it is now, 2-1-2?
It's a 2-1-2 zone, and
okay. Interesting that that Larry Steenvoorden sort of dropped off and was daring Bravado to shoot, Phil. I guess they want to let him go.
Well, he can shoot from outside and he can drive too, so it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another.
Forte looking around, looking for the open man. Give it off to Mataseski. Inside, trying to force the Steenvoorden. He steals it back. Nice pass to Trent underneath. Ramon's fouled, and he'll go to the line.
And we've seen Trent go to the boards 3 times now offensively, and you got to have that.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. If East Brunswick wants to stay in this game, Ramon Trent is going to have a good quality basketball game. He hasn't had consistent good games. He's shown flashes.
Well, to be honest, I don't think he's had the year that we anticipated. And some of that may have been that transition from football. I don't know.
Trent hits the first. It's 9-5. Foul was on Bowen. And Bowen pulls it down.
He is a leaper.
The Bears get back on defense. Bravado, he'll take the baseline, won't go. Rebound Willis.
Good strong rebound by Willis.
Score remains 9-5 Bears. Trent to Mataseski. He'll drive, dump off to Steenvoorden through his legs.
Okay, Stevens in a smothering man-to-man defense, and
all right, but I don't think the defense is what caused that.
Just
Phil.
the bad
I think
pass?
My comment was that East Brunswick is going to have to avoid the mistakes tonight, like these turnovers, like you just saw right now.
Like in tennis, an unforced error.
4:30 to go, first period. Still 9-5 East Brunswick. That's Newsom. Back to Zatorsky. Into Bravado inside. Forces his way. Taken by Forte to Trent. Trent on the drive and layup. 11-5 Bears.
I'll tell you, Trent looks really smooth tonight.
7 points out of the 11 that East Brunswick has.
Bravado, another turnover. Zatorsky with the save. Backcourt is not called.
No, it was a backcourt, too.
Underneath to Mark Christie.
I'll tell you, the officials are letting him play, and that's great.
Sure are. That could have been a foul on Bernie Willis.
Mataseski, nice move, and good use of the backboard.
A super move by Mataseski.
13-5, and the Bears opening it up, first period.
Cirillo, the Stevens coach, not calling timeout.
Mataseski with a Keith Mataseski type move. His older brother, of course.
Newsom with the shot. Won't go. Steenvoorden, rebound.
And I think if East Brunswick scores on this, Stevens might want to call timeout. They just do not look comfortable out there. And it has to do with that zone, Phil.
Willis can't hold on to it. Bravado, he'll bring it right up the middle. And he'll call a travel.
Good defense. Bears held their ground, and Bravado was looking for the opening and couldn't find it.
Steenvoorden looking for someone. Gets it off to Forte. Brian will bring it up. Steenvoorden to Willis.
Nice inside move there.
Willis, block. Newsom. And it'll go over to the Hawks.
Tony Newsom, a quality player.
His coach says he's a surefire Division I prospect.
Oh, really? Division I?
Division I.
That's saying a lot.
Zatorsky looks around, back to Bravado. He'll take the three-pointer. Won't go this time. Zatorsky gets it back, though. And there's Newsom, spins. And nice touch.
That was a Division I move.
Division I move there.
13-7, East Brunswick by 6. 2:25 to go, first period. Trent. Rebound, Willis. Back up. Yes. 15-7.
I'll tell you got to like how the Bears are playing. They're very aggressive, crashing the boards, and and just looking good.
Well, the thing I've noticed so far is that the turnovers have been minimal. There have been 1 or 2 maybe on East Brunswick's part, but by and large, they're taking advantage of the opportunities that they're getting.
Bravado back to Newsom on the pick. He'll take the shot, hits. 15-9. Bears by 6 with 1:45 to go here in the first period at East Brunswick High School. East Brunswick comes in 8-9, Stevens 12-3. Mataseski regains control, back to Forte. Ryan will push it up off the rim. Gets his own rebound. Won't go. Newsom with the bound. Down to Bravado. They got Zatorsky in the middle. Rocky will take it himself.
Good attempt by Bravado to come up with the left hand.
Excellent.
Forte underneath. Newsom again with the rebound. Minute to go. And a lot of hustle by both teams.
There's Bravado alone.
Bravado will take the shot. High off the board, won't go. Trent with the rebound, and a foul is called on Willis.
Ooh.
Loose ball foul.
I'll say that was a loose ball foul.
Tough call. Bravado seems to be out of form this game. He's thrown up some pretty wild shots.
He's taken about 6 or 7 shots already, and what, I think one.
Charleston will come in for Trent.
He's got that 1 3-pointer.
Stevens has it under their own board. Foul by Steenvoorden. Bravado will go to the line. 44 seconds, first period. East Brunswick on top, 15-9. Rocky Bravado will go to the foul line. That's Steenvoorden's second foul. Bravado missing. He'll get one more.
Interesting enough, Cirillo says Bravado is a much better shooter this year than he was last year. He had some problems early on after a car accident, but this year he's shooting extremely well, he says.
Steenvoorden falls in the lane.
John, that foul by Steenvoorden was his first. It's been corrected.
Okay.
Ooh.
Turnover, go back to the Hawks.
Mataseski just doesn't have that quickness to get to the ball.
40 seconds to go here in the first period. Bears by 5.
Good effort on his part, but it was just thrown a little too far for him.
Stevens going for one shot, I believe.
Shot, three-pointer, good. That was Scott Lane, number 24, who just entered the game. East Brunswick will have it. 15-13. 6-point lead is now shortened to 2. Forte to Charleston. They're inside to Willis. Willis, ball stripped. Charleston comes up with it. Stolen by Bravado.
Quick hands of Bravado.
And they're going to
Got Newsom out front. Nice play by Trent.
Quick hands of Trent.
I was going to say they're going to get 2 out of this, but fortunately, Ramon is
So that's it.
ball back.
First quarter here from East Brunswick High School. The Bears on top, 15-13. And guys, I'll say this, in terms of what we've seen here on Channel 8, I think that's the best first quarter we've seen East Brunswick play this year.
It's certainly the best one I've seen. I'll tell you, Knoppenberger has to sort of be pleased because he's accomplished some of his keys. One of those was to stop Bravado's penetration. They've done that effectively and control the tempo of the game, and they've done that pretty effectively too because they've been able to control the boards. Take away a few mistakes, they would be up by a lot more.
Question is, can it continue?
Okay, while we have a timeout, I want to mention that next Wednesday, February 10th, there will be a free basketball clinic for boys and girls grades 5 through 7 here at East Brunswick High School from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And that'll be put on by Coach Knoppenberger and his staff. Again, free basketball clinic Wednesday evening, February 10th from 7 to 8:30 here at East Brunswick High School for boys and girls grades 5 through 7.
And they should come ready to play, John.
I'll tell you, and it's a great happening, too, to have some of the varsity players working out with the younger kids. They get a big kick out of it.
Emphasis is going to be on shooting, I understand.
All right, we start this second period. Mataseski will bring it up for East Brunswick. They have a 2-point lead. Inside for Willis. Isn't able to bring it down, and Newsom will take it down for the Hawks. And he'll drive for the hoop, and it'll go, and he's fouled. We'll see who the foul's on.
That's Willis, his second.
All right.
I'll tell you, Tony Newsom, 6'1", averaging 18 points per game and 11 rebounds a game. Just a rather smooth ball player.
Dave Potter checking in for East Brunswick,
Right,
number 50.
Knoppenberger not wanting to have Willis get his third foul before this half is out.
East Brunswick has Steenvoorden, Trent, Potter, Forte, and Mataseski.
Full court.
Forte being pressured. Trent to Mataseski. Underneath for Potter, no good. Trent pulls it down though and hits. 17-16. East Brunswick back in the lead.
And Ramon Trent has 9 points.
Newsom back out to Bravado. He'll take a three-pointer and hits.
That's Bravado's 12th three-pointer of the year.
He's got 2 this game.
He's got it down. Nice pass, Forte to Potter. We're back and forth here. We're tied at 19.
Good movement by the Bears.
Steenvoorden backing off on Newsom.
Stevens looking around now. Bravado to Lane. Now Newsom will come out. They're going to start a little weave action here. And they get Bravado freed up. And a travel's going to be called. Turnover will go to East Brunswick. We're tied at 19.
East Brunswick playing good defense without having to work too hard.
Of course, Brian Forte charged with the job of getting the ball up. He hasn't scored yet. He's the leading scorer on the Bears.
Bravado steal, and they're going to call him to turning it over.
He's had quite a few sloppy plays for a point guard that's supposed to be the best in the county. He's looked a little bit sloppy early on.
Forte brings it up. Trent to Mataseski.
And without Bernie Willis in there, I don't think East Brunswick has quite the strong inside game. Probably going to have to depend on some outside shooting here.
Mataseski
Ooh,
looking
good
underneath
pass.
for Forte. Just can't go. Potter will pull it down. Back to Mataseski. He'll take the shot. Hits off the backboard.
He'll take it.
3 or 2.
21-19 East Brunswick.
Bears hanging tough. And I think that's the only way to describe it. They are taking advantage of their opportunities.
And they're going to call Bravado for
Another
travel.
turnover by Bravado. Uncharacteristic.
And I think he's getting a little upset with
And
himself.
Frank Knoppenberger will call timeout for East Brunswick. They're on top by 2, 21-19 with 5:15 to go here in the second period.
Rocky Bravado, as we mentioned, the leading scorer for J.P. Stevens, and also he's the one that makes that chemistry work for that team.
Exactly.
And I think if there's one reason, Phil, why Stevens is behind, in addition to East Brunswick's fine play, is that Bravado is just not getting the job done out there.
He hasn't been his sharp self, and no doubt he will turn it on. We saw him the last few years, and he's an excellent ball player, and his coach insists he's a much better player this year, and apparently has done the job. They're 12-3.
Right. Yeah, real quickly, if we can switch gears to the wrestling team, John, they have a 9-1 record, and they'll be going into the Greater Middlesex Conference tournament this weekend, Friday night. A number of wrestlers stand some good chances of winning individual weight classes, and as well as the Bears team winning the team title. We can talk about a couple of those guys when we have an opportunity. JV's by the won tonight, extending their record of 14-1 with a 74-70 win over J.P. Stevens Junior Varsity.
Coach Chalaka's done another great job again.
All right, Trent with it. Can't hold on to it. And now the turnovers are starting to come for both teams. Newsom underneath, forces one.
Bowden.
Here's Bowen, won't go. And Stevens unable to find the handle.
George Bowen's a junior.
Steve Warden will throw it in.
As is Tony Newsom, Phil.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one.
Forte looking for some help. They're going to call 5 seconds. So it goes back over to JP Stevens. The Bears on top, 21-19.
Newsom.
Tony Newsom.
Newsom with a double yoke. Nice touch.
He's already got 11 points.
We're tied at 21. 4:15 to go, second period. Forte looking for some help underneath.
Yeah.
They're going to call him for traveling.
East Brunswick's other players need to move around.
And give Bravado some credit there. He was smothering Forte.
It's been an exciting game thus far. We're tied at 21, the Bears and the Hawks. And this is a natural rivalry. Bravado from the outside.
Way off.
Won't go. Mataseski fighting, comes down with it. He's got Forte. Bryan will put it up off the glass.
His first two.
And East Brunswick will take the lead, 23-21. Here comes Bravado right back. No
Way off
good.
again.
He throws a brick that time.
He's out of gear.
Rocky Bravado really having a time tonight. No foul call there. This is getting to be a little bit like street ball.
Yeah, but I'll tell you though, Bravado is the type of player that once he gets hot, look out.
Good pass, Mataseski to Steenvoort, and underneath, reverse layup.
Great pass, a nice move.
Bears playing with a lot of confidence, John.
25-21 Bears.
Larry Steenvoort with an excellent move.
I thought Stevens was going to come back there for a moment, but the Bears playing real
Pass
well.
underneath to Newsom.
No foul.
No foul. They're letting them play. I love it.
They sure are.
Rough and tumble out here tonight.
Vinny Cirillo beside himself here on the bench for Stevens.
Forte finds Steenvoort. He'll put it up and hits.
Everything is going in
I'll
for
tell
East
you,
Brunswick
Steve
at this
Warden,
point.
2 fine plays in a row. So East Brunswick is looking very good.
The Bears by 6, 27-21. 2:30 to go here, second period. Bravado, three-pointer. That's his third of the evening.
Right, and he has no 2-pointers yet. I think maybe he ought to stick out of the zone.
27-24. And Stevens is the first team we've seen this year that really makes use of that three-point play.
Well,
Forte won't go.
they really don't love it, John. It's hurt them more than it's helped them. Union Catholic beat them with three-pointers, and South Brunswick beat them with three-pointers as well. So they don't exactly love it, but they will use it.
Inside 2 minutes, the Bears by 3. Bravado looking around. Zatorsky now with it.
Oh, we haven't seen too much of him, and he's one of their more important players too.
Well, Zatorsky, he comes from.
He'll take a three-pointer.
And that
He's short. Steenvoort with the rebound. Down court, stolen by Bowen to Bravado. And they're going to call it on Forte.
For the shot.
Sure, and there's not a bonus situation, so that was kind of a good foul to take. Bravado was looking to get past Brian Forte for the layup, and Brian elected to use his first foul. And I think we have 14 fouls for East Brunswick.
Stevens will throw it in. Zatorsky to Bravado, three-pointer. Off the rim.
Second shot, though.
Bowen saves it. Zatorsky to Newsom. Newsom will force one up. Bowen pulls it down and right back up with it. 27-26, and you're right, Phil, he's a leaper.
He's a leaper.
Mataseski trying to make something happen. 1 minute to go, second period. Forte goes around town, puts it up 29-26, Bears by 3.
What we've come to expect from Brian Forte. Just a fine clutch player.
Stevens holding for one, it appears.
Surprising.
Shot up and in.
That's Clark Christie.
Jason Clark Christie, I like that name.
First time we've called his number tonight. 25 seconds to go. East Brunswick by a point, 29-28, and they'll play for the last shot, I believe. Steenvorn inside to Willis. A foul will be called. I think it's going to be on Bowen.
Right, not the bonus, though.
Bowen's first. 4 team fouls for Stevens.
John, I think George Bowen has his second foul, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Willis inside of Montesesky.
Ooh.
Falls in.
Drops in with 7 seconds. Newsome
Gotta play defense.
will put it up at the
Ooh,
buzzer.
mercy.
2 seconds. And that'll do it.
Mercy.
Halftime. They're saying 2-point play for Newsome, not a 3-point shot. 31-30. East Brunswick a 1-point lead as we go into the locker room at halftime.
All in all, a very, very fine half for East Brunswick. They're only ahead by a point, but I think, as we mentioned on top, they're playing about as well as they possibly can, and they're going to need their best game of the season in order to win tonight. But we've seen that they possibly can.
Well, Knoppenberger's has had a tough year, not a Frank Knoppenberger year, and but he has his team playing right now as well as they possibly can play, and that's all you can expect. They're playing great defense, getting good rebounds, and stopping the transition basket from J.P. Stevens. So they're doing everything they should, and they're leading in this game.
Well, it's been an exciting first half. East Brunswick on top by 1, 31-30, and should only mean some good things for the second half when both teams come out.
We should hope so.
But right now I'd like to call your attention to the center of the court where the East Brunswick High School cheerleaders will put on an exhibition for us, and they will be moving into competition, I think, next week, and here's their first chance to practice it before some home folks. So we'll sit back and turn the program over to the East Brunswick High School varsity cheerleaders. Okay, we're about ready to start this second half. East Brunswick J.P. Stevens. Jimmy, I know you have some stats there in front of you.
Well, nothing more than scoring, John. The Bears hanging tough, of course, with a 1-point lead. Scoring fairly well distributed. Vermont Trent with 4 field goals and a foul shot, 9 points. And then Mark Mataseski with 4 field goals for 8 points. And Larry Steenvoorden has 2 field goals for 4 points, as does Brian Forte, as does Bernie Willis. So everybody getting involved in the scoring. And I should also add that Dave Potter has 2 points. Tony Newsom with 6 field goals and 1 foul shot. That's 13 points. And for all of Rocky Pravado's problems, he still has 3 3-point field goals for 9 points plus a foul shot for another, so he has a total of 10 points, and I hate to see what this guy is doing when he's on. Scott Lane, a 3-pointer, so 4 3-point field goals for Stevens that half, and George Bowen and John Clark Christie each have a field goal. So that's the scoring.
Okay, Phil, from a technical standpoint, I don't think there's much that Frank Knoppenberger would want to change. They lead by 1, and it's been a tough game, but everyone seems to be playing well.
Right. I think he'd like to take back maybe a couple turnovers, but for the most part, his team's doing exactly what he wants them to do. And if they can stay aggressive, and the interesting thing is they did work hard that first half, but they didn't just exhaust themselves. So they still have some in reserve. So they can do it.
Right. I can tell you nobody's in foul trouble. Bernie Willis does have 2, and of course he always has to watch it. But other than Forte and Steenvoorden with 1 apiece, the Bears are unblemished.
Okay, and before we start this second half, I want to mention that the next home game that East Brunswick will play, and that's on February 9th, which is a Tuesday evening against St. Joe's, there will be, the athletic department will honor the parents of the senior players and managers for this high school basketball team. That's always a nice touch, a nice event, and so we ask that you, listening out there, you might want to come out and see that. Again, that's East Brunswick St. Joe's. That'll be part of the festivities will include honoring the senior parents, or the parents of the seniors rather, and the managers on this East Brunswick High School basketball team. And we start the third period. Stevens with the ball. Bravado.
He was thinking about another 3-point shot.
He'll take it. No good. Fight for the rebound, and it'll go over to East Brunswick.
Apparently that must be the strategy.
And Jimmy, let me ask you, you're closer to what's happening in the red division than I am. Is this a mild upset thus far?
Without a doubt. J.P. Stevens is undefeated in the red division. They only have 3 losses on the season. So, yeah, so far.
And Forte hits, slips a little bit.
I'll tell you, he got away with the walk.
Yeah, 33-30 to Bears by 3 as we start the third period.
Of course, St. Joseph, another one of the quality teams in the red division.
And we'll be covering that game next week here against East Brunswick. Zatorsky hits.
And that's what he's capable of doing.
And Zatorsky comes from East Brunswick Catholic, better known as St. Joe's High. Those aren't my words. Those are Cirillo's words.
It's more a compliment than anything else, Phil.
Well, he makes the point that there's an awful lot of good talent from East Brunswick at St. Joseph's. And that's no secret.
All right, turnover by the Bears. Go over to Stevens. And I would think there wants Zatorsky more in the offense. Here's his second shot, in and out. Rebound by Willis. Bears on top by 1, 33-32.
And I'll tell you what, I'm not going to argue with J.P. Stevens, but I would think that they have somewhat of an advantage inside.
Forte.
And they're not utilizing it.
Forte unable to convert. Here comes Newsom right down the middle. Won't go. Rebound Steenvoorden.
I think Newsom should have hit Bowen off on the left flank there.
Mataseski, he's fouled by Zatorsky.
Should be a 2-shot foul.
He's hit in the back, yeah. And he'll go to the line.
Not many opportunities at the foul line for either team tonight. Let's see. Other than Ramon Trent's 2-shot foul, he went 1 for 2. That's been the only opportunity that East Brunswick has gone to the line tonight.
I'll tell you, the big things with the Bears right now is that they don't want to let this tempo get out of hand. They still want to control that tempo.
Mataseski could put East Brunswick up by a bucket. And he does. He'll get one more shot. 34-32. In and out. Rebound Bowen. Stevens comes down. They're looking to tie it here with a bucket.
And you notice them, they're working the perimeter. East Brunswick kind of like in a light man-to-man here.
Bravado underneath the baseline.
Ooh.
Nice move.
Excellent move.
And we're tied at 34.
And Bravado talking to Forte.
Brian's got to do something with that ball. Finally gets it off.
No foul.
And pushing and shoving, but Mataseski comes up with it. Steenvoort into
Great
Willis.
pass. Great
right
pass.
down the middle.
And there was a foul there, undoubtedly. I think East Brunswick got away with one.
Great pass by Steve Orden, and Willis took it to the hole very nicely.
Good vision by Larry Steenvoort and puts East Brunswick up by 2, 36-34. Bravado won't go.
And he's 0 for 2 with 3-point tries this half.
I'll tell you, the Bears have them doing exactly what they want them to do. Keeping them from penetrating and having them shoot from outside,
Right.
and it's working to their advantage right now.
Trent called for travel. Got to cut down on the turnovers. East Brunswick hanging in. They lead by 2 with 4:51 to go here in the third period. And as we said, this is a mild upset thus far.
A lot of time, John, to go in this one.
Newsom kind of takes a step, walks in, gets away with it, but not the basket.
Had the rebound, let it get out of their hands.
Satorsky, no good. Trent with the bound.
Big rebound.
Forte looking
Takes
to
it
drive. He'll take the shot. No good. Bowen with the rebound. Fast break to Satorsky. He's fouled by Steenvoort.
Larry thought he felt he had the ball, but the official was right on the call there. Official Art Harmon making the call.
Sounded pretty loud from here. Steenvoort in second, I believe. So Satorsky will go to the line. And he'll look to tie this game at 36. Nice touch on the first one. And we're tied at 36. Steenvoort looks to inbound the ball. He does to Forte, and the Bears move down court. Steenvoort takes it to the hoop.
Ooh.
Nice move.
Good move.
He's playing great ball tonight.
Yeah, he's having a good game tonight.
38-36, Bears by 2.
When Larry Steenvoort is confident and likes to go to the hoop, he becomes that much more of an effective ball player.
Phil, a question, Bowen, we see him on the rebound, but we haven't seen if he has a shot or not.
He averages about 7 points per game, but he's largely a rebounder.
Yeah, well, he knows his role on this team.
There's Satorsky, won't go. Steenvoort pulls it down.
That's a good point, Jimmy. Knowing what your role is and playing within the team, and I think that's what Bowen does.
Takes Bravado in.
Steenvoort, he'll travel, took 2 steps with it.
And there was a case that Larry was so confident about going to the basket.
Well,
he didn't realize he was sort of stopped.
Scott Lane actually got a hand in there, and that sort of helped it along.
Lane is in, number 24 for the Hawks. Bravado, he's the leader of this team. Here's Lane, a 3-pointer.
Short.
He's short, an air ball, as they say.
They apparently have a license to shoot anytime they get ready.
Lane and Bravado seem to, yeah. Forte slips just a bit, dishes it off to Mataseski, who will take the shot in the paint. Won't go. Willis.
Over the top.
Calling it on Bernie Willis, but I have to tell you, I don't agree with that call.
Well,
he was on a bad angle to call that, and it didn't look like Bernie was really doing any damage.
well, he fouled him, Jim, but considering the number of fouls that we've had, more physical plays that we had earlier,
Yeah.
it wasn't in the flow of things.
And Willis will stay in there.
Bravado cross court to Lane. Back to Lane, outside, three-pointer hits. Hawks by one now, 39-38.
That's his second three-pointer.
Forte, they're gonna call him for turning it over.
Now Willis will come out of the game, John.
2:32 to go. And East Brunswick calls a timeout.
Right, Nottenberger sensing that Stevens was about to try something there. Try to get the momentum in their favor.
And you'll see as we look down on Coach Frank Nottenberger and the varsity.
Well, I tell you, as you look at Coach Nottenberger, they've done everything that he's asked. They haven't allowed that J.P. Stevens to get into the running game, and that's a big part of the Stevens game, getting into the running game. East Brunswick has controlled the boards, therefore not giving them a chance to run, and consequently they've controlled the tempo. Nottenberger has to be pleased.
We were talking about the wrestling team coming up, the Greater Middlesex Conference Tournament this week, and some of the team members. To watch, of course, is Walt Toto, undefeated still at 145 pounds. And of course, we have Brian Mintz, Greg Salzman, Kevin Maloney, Vinny Capadona, Chris McGowan, Kevin Malone, we mentioned him, Joe Koval, Dave Goldstein, Ron Perez, and Sean Smith, all with good shots at placing high. And I would say Walt Toto is really starting to come around and might even be considered a threat for a state championship.
I think it's more than a threat, Jim. All right, time's back in. Stevens has the ball, 2:27 to go, third period. They lead by one. Bravado, Trent will pull it down.
Boy, Stevens sticking to East Brunswick like glue.
Mataseski now looking underneath. There's nowhere to go.
Real nice man-to-man defense by Stevens.
Forte now looking, needs some help, no one's moving. Mataseski comes out.
Good defense, good switching off.
1:35 to go, period. East Brunswick trailing by one. Steenvoorden caught in the corner, trying to dish it off to Potter. Potter makes the save, but it goes right over to Stevens. And Bravado fights his way through, dishes off to Newsom. Newsom uses the backboard to increase the lead to three rather, 41-38.
And East Brunswick has to watch itself now.
Steenvoorden, needed pass from Forte.
That was a big bucket. They needed that right there.
Bears trail by one, 41-40. A minute to go, third period. Bravado hits.
Ooh, a slight shimmy there, could have been a walk, but a nice basket.
43-40. Stevens on top with 45 seconds to go. Forte, no. Rebound, Zatorski for Stevens. He'll pull up, and they're gonna call a travel.
That's a rough call. The official, Cyril's looking at the official that had the best view. The other official blocked out, called the walk.
Looks like he held onto his pivot foot okay.
Well, a break for the Bears. 37 seconds. Mataseski being pressured. Needs help now. Finds Trent.
Four corners called by Nottenberger.
Forte looking to go up the middle. Willis picks it up, puts it in. 43-42, 10 seconds. Newsom, here comes Lane, three-point territory. Won't go. Newsom again on the rebound. Still won't go. And it's a one-point game in favor of Stevens, 43-42.
Mercy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I for a second there thought that J.P. Stevens was going to open it up. They seem to be going on the break real nice, and we're looking to extend a three-point lead to 5, but East Brunswick was able to turn it back, come back and get 2 points on a nice bank shot by Bernie Willis. They find themselves only 1 point down, and it's anybody's game.
They're right in the game, Jimmy. They've just done everything that they have to do. They haven't allowed J.P. Stevens to get into their game. And East Brunswick can take this game at any time.
Sure.
So we'll get ready for the last 8 minutes with the Bears trailing by 1, 43-42.
I'll tell you, as you're looking at Coach Vince Cirillo there, he's been the coach for J.P. Stevens Hawks for 10 years now. And he said last year they had a record of 21-4, but they didn't win anything. They won no tournaments or anything. This year he wants to win a tournament, so he has great incentive.
Well, he's going to have a tough road because I'll tell you what, the GMC conference overall has a lot of quality teams. Not only is St. Joseph and J.P. Stevens quality clubs in the red division, but you have Metuchen and John F. Kennedy and South Brunswick, and of course Woodbridge also from this conference that we saw. So I think the title is up for grabs. And correct me if I'm wrong, but East Brunswick beat Stevens last year for the GMC title. You don't have to be corrected about that one. We covered that game at Rutgers Lewis Brown Arena. And a foul immediately called as we start the fourth period. Right, we'll give Steenvoorden that foul. That's his third and the third on the team.
Well, you'd hope the officials would be consistent at this point in time so the young people don't get confused.
Bravado pulls up off the rim. Modesteski with the rebound.
Had the shot.
The Bears can take the lead with a bucket. They trail 43-42. Modesteski fights his way. He's fouled. Won't go, though. But he'll get 2 shots.
Nice drive by Mark Modesteski.
Yes. That'll be Satorski's second.
First one won't go.
Needless to say, these are big foul shots in the fourth quarter.
Two of them won't go, and East Brunswick still trails by 1, 43-42.
Golden opportunity missed there.
Zatorski drives, blocked by Willis. It'll go over to Stevens.
I'll tell you, Mark Modesteski is a 76% free throw shooter, so we're really surprised he didn't at least hit one of those.
I thought it would go to Stevens, apparently not. Official trying to pick up the perspiration. East Brunswick will get it.
Watch the press here. It's difficult. Went off Modesteski's foot.
All right, so now the ball goes back to Stevens. Under their own basket, Zatorski to Lane outside, three-pointer, hits.
No conscience.
And that's his third three-pointer.
And all of a sudden, Stevens is up by 4, their biggest lead of the evening, 46-42. Forte to Steenvoorden. Modesteski. Tap in, won't go.
Ooh.
And it's off Steenvoorden.
Tough one for the Bears there.
And Bears must maintain their cool now and not let things slip away. It's the three-pointer, surprisingly, that Cirillo doesn't like that has made the difference today.
Bravado. Out to Zatorski. He'll take
mercy.
it.
Ooh.
And hits. 49-42. The Hawks by 7.
That's the way to extend the lead.
Forte being pressured. Looks underneath to Trent. East Brunswick's tap in by Willis. And I was going to say East Brunswick looks to be getting cold. 49-44, the Hawks by 5. 6 minutes to go in the game.
And they spread it out.
Bravado. And they're going to call a foul on Trent. Reaching in.
It's on Forte. Foul's on Brian Forte, I believe. 3-2-2-3. Who knows?
Yeah, he called out a lot of numbers. It's on Trent, though. Anyway, Bravado will take the shot off the rim.
Oh,
there's Bowen with the rebound. Back to Bravado. And a 3-second violation called on Bowen. Break for East Brunswick. They trail by 5, 49-44.
Need a couple of quick buckets here.
Good move by Forte. He'll put it up. Air ball. And there's Zatorsky by himself.
Big basket.
Trent could do nothing. 51-44. 7-point lead now for J.P. Stevens. Timeout, East Brunswick.
Good timeout, Pryor.
Yeah, they needed it. Stevens is getting their type of game into gear right now. East Brunswick probably gonna have to force some more shots.
I tell you again, and we're surprised. Vince Cirillo said he doesn't care for the three-pointer. He thinks it makes the game a little bit more exciting, but his team isn't particularly a three-point shooting team, and they have taken advantage of it today.
Well, I hate to see if they were.
They have 7 three-pointers tonight, so that accounts for 21 points.
And Jimmy, you know how I feel about it. I mean, that distance is 19 feet 9 inches, and I think there should be a three-point shot in high school ball, but I think it should be a little further.
I agree with you,
think it's just not far enough to make it an adventure.
Let me ask you guys this then. Does Coach Knoppenberger go back and try to match with three-pointers? Does he put Mataseski out there and let him, take those shots?
I think it's a little early right now, John. I think they got to continue to play within themselves, play the tough defense like they've been playing, hope that they get a few bounces, and play within themselves. And then if it seems to be getting away from them, go for it.
And I say Mataseski because we were told at the beginning of the year anyway that was one of his specialties, that three-pointer.
Right. They almost had a walk there and no call.
Well, East Brunswick has to be careful with the turnovers here. And a foul's going to be called on Zatorsky.
That's his third.
.5:21 to go here in the game. East Brunswick trails by 7, 51-44. They have the ball. Steenvoorden to Forte. And they need some movement. Someone's got to break. There's Steenvoorden underneath. He'll take the shot. Fall away, no good. He's got his own rebound. In and out, but it'll fall.
Larry Steenvoorden's played a super game today. Can't ask for much more from the young man.
51-46. Bears trailing by 5. There's Bowen. First shot that I can recall of the evening.
And it
in and around and finally drops.
Wow.
Well,
nice.
actually, that's his fourth shot. Excuse me, his 4th point.
Soft touch.
53-46. Willis underneath. Reverse layup good.
Nice pass.
53-48. 4:35 to go in the game.
Bears not about ready to give up yet.
And I they're playing within themselves. They really are.
Bears down by 5. Zatorsky looking underneath to Newsome. Good move.
Yeah.
Nice pass.
They haven't been going to the inside too much tonight, but that was one time they could use it. They took advantage of it.
Stevens by 7. Here comes Mataseski. Layup slammed against the board by Newsome. Nothing called. The ball fell in.
Goaltending it would have been, so 2 points counts anyway. Went in.
55-50. Stevens with the lead. 4 minutes left in the game. Lane. Oh, inside to Newsome.
Second time that's happened.
He's just dangerous once he gets the ball right there.
Willis will take the jumper. Hits. .57-52.
Still that 5-point margin. Bears going to need to look for a turnover.
Timeout, Stevens.
And Knoppenberger clapping, he's got to be pleased.
Well, I don't think he can ask for too much of a better effort
Really?
tonight. Everybody's been playing pretty well. Good movement on the part of the Bears tonight, I think. That's been one of the keys. And it's been good. The defense has been good enough to disrupt Stevens enough so that they're just not into the flow like they usually are.
Well, the hand's gotten a little cold from the East Brunswick side. Some of those shots rather just not falling in around the rim, off the rim. Not much penetration inside. They've taken a lot of shots from the outside. And let's face it, those three-pointers have hurt from
The three-pointers have really hurt, but nevertheless, the Bears are in the game, and they got to like where they are right now, and it's not a bad spot to be. They got 3:29 left. They're down by 5. They got to make sure that they take good shots, play good defense, and
Good defense primarily.
good defense
They
will
gotta
lead
get
to
the
good
ball,
offense,
Phil.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Newsom has 19 points, by the way, to lead all scorers. Rocky Bravado for J.P. Stevens has, I believe, 14 points. And leading scorer for East Brunswick, I think Bernie Willis has, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 points.
All right, Stevens looking to increase that lead, moving the ball around. Bravado, three-point area, in and out. Rebound, Steenvoorden.
I can't believe he let him take another three-point shot at this juncture of the game. They really don't need it.
Mataseski.
And Bernie Willis
Looking
has a hot
underneath,
hand.
there's Willis.
I was going to say, he's got the hot hand. I try to get it to him.
Good read by Mataseski. 54-57, Bears down by 3.
Willis, I believe, has the last 4 buckets for East Brunswick.
Got to play tough defense.
Looks like Satorsky was eyeing the basket from 35 feet out.
Ooh. Foul on Trent as he hits Lane.
I'll tell you, you got to like that foul, though. Good aggressiveness, going for the ball.
That should be the bonus, I believe. So big one-on-one foul shots coming
Yeah, it's
up.
untimely foul, but Knoppenberger's not angry about that foul at all.
I'm not sure it's untimely. I really think that the best way to get the points back is to send the other team to the line and force them to make those one-on-ones.
All right, we have 2:32 to go. Lane missing. Willis with the rebound, and you're right, Jimmy, the strategy paid off
You
there.
look awfully good, Jim.
57-54, the Bears down by 3. Cross court to Willis.
He's going to take it in.
He's hot. Won't go this time. Lane with the rebound to Bravado. Bravado all the way, loses the handle, and Willis can't hold on to it. It'll go to Stevens.
And Frank Knoppenberger wanted that possession there.
Two minutes now left in the game. Bears down by 3. Pace is slowed a little bit.
Okay, the Bears have to come out of their zone now and go to a man-to-man.
Which they have.
Under 2 minutes, John.
Bravado looking to set something up. Newsom comes out.
And you notice the good ball handler, the people handling the ball are the Newsoms and Bravado.
Ooh.
Looking for a foul here, I would think.
Bravado directing traffic. Newsom underneath.
Newsom, not that kind of foul, though. Newsom will draw it, a two-shot foul.
And Willis will get his 4th foul.
Newsom will go to the line with 1:30 to go in the game. And Stevens by 3, 57-54. Rolls in. Everyone was holding their breath on the Stevens bench. No good. Forte with the rebound, 58-54. Bears need a bucket here. Steenvoorden put it up, won't go. Willis can't come down with the rebound, and Bowen will hand it off to Bravado.
I'll tell you, an excellent effort by Larry. The ball went halfway down and came back out. What can you say?
Gotta foul him here. Gotta foul him.
Bravado. Forte all over him. 53 seconds left in the game. And a foul will be called on Forte.
Okay, Knoppenberger called for that foul at that time, so I don't know if they want to foul Bravado, but they did want to foul at that time.
58-54. Bravado will go to the line with 46 seconds. Forte's second foul. Timeout, East Brunswick.
Tough situation for the Bears, gentlemen. They have been playing well all game, but I think just the the inside buckets by Newsom in the end there really was a difficult situation. And I don't know, we're going to have to hope that Bravado doesn't make these foul shots. Of course, you always do have a three-point play. So even if the Bears do go down by 6, they still have a slight opportunity by launching some bombs here. Of course, we haven't seen one attempt by East Brunswick tonight with a three-point play.
Well, but I think you're right about these foul shots. These foul shots will be very telling here, and if they can get Bravado at least to miss one of them, and then get control of the ball, perhaps put up a two-pointer and then come back with a three-point attempt should they get the ball back, they certainly have a chance. So they just can't get raggedy at this point in time. They still got to stay consistent.
All right, we'll set the scene. 46 seconds left in the game. East Brunswick trails 58-54, and Rocky Bravado will be at the line. He'll shoot one and will have an extra shot based on the bonus, so it's a 1-and-1 situation. And he'll get another. 59-54. And he makes it a 6-point lead, 60-54.
And you got to think that the three-pointer should be coming up here, but I guess not.
Forte drives it all the way, 38 seconds.
And they got to play tough defense.
Oh, and they
a
throw
big
it
break.
away. The Bears will get it, 33 seconds. They're down by 4, 60-56. Mataseski inside to Willis. Foul, ball won't drop.
Mercy.
Oh, boy, the East Brunswick wanted that.
That would have been the three-point play they're looking for.
Foul on Bowen.
Big foul shots coming up here.
Willis will go to the line.
It's his third foul, by the way.
Bernie Willis will have 2. Hits the first. 57-60.
Nothing but net by Bernie Willis.
Willis with 17 points. He's leading scorer for East Brunswick.
Oh, won't fall. 3-point lead by Stevens, 25 seconds. And they're going to call a foul on Trenton. He looked like he was on the ball.
He looked like he
really
wanted
did
to
look
jump
like a
off.
tie-up.
Tough call.
And this is a 1-on-1, I guess.
It will be for Keith Lane. Scott Lane, rather, I'm sorry. Boy, he didn't blink an eye. He just
I'll
threw
tell
that
you,
one down.
well, the foul shots down the stretch have.
They've been making them, and I think that's the mark of a winning team.
61, 62, 57 now. Bears down by 5 with 20 seconds. Got to take that three-pointer. Looking inside to
Great
Willis,
pass.
good pass. 12 seconds. They've got a foul, and they do. They foul Lane. Forte with the foul.
And Lane just hit his last 2 foul shots, so maybe the law of averages will catch up with him.
Are you surprised that Trent didn't take the three-pointer?
Well,
I was sort of
he should've.
surprised, but I guess you're so used to looking for the opening man. He
Yeah.
hit the open man perfectly. They're down by 3, still a three-pointer.
I don't know. You look for the best shot. That's the only thing you can say.
No, it's not a criticism. I'm just wondering why.
I think we all were looking for it, John.
Well, Lane hits another big foul shot. Stevens is going to call timeout, John.
63-59, 10 seconds left.
Scott Lane sinking the 3 foul shots, important foul shots. Of course, he has another one coming up, and that can extend the lead to 5 points. Probably will pretty much put it out of reach, but only 10 seconds left in the game. But still in all, I think we have to be pleased with the effort that East Brunswick has put on tonight. And let me venture something else. This is the second time that the Bears have played J.P. Stevens. In the first game, it was a close game for a while, but I don't have yes I do. The final score was 73-49, and that was quite a different edge. But right now it looks like East Brunswick may qualify as the 14th, 15th, or 16th seeded team in the GMC tournament.
I see.
And by virtue of that, they conceivably could open up against Stevens in the opening round. So we may have not seen the end of these two teams playing yet. And I think the Bears have to have a little renewed confidence as a result of this game.
I'll tell you, as you watch Frank Knoppenberger in that huddle, Frank's coaching you down to the very last few seconds, and he just doesn't give up.
All right, Lane at the line. And he hits, make it 64-59. Matuszewski, three-point territory, no good. Willis on the follow-up will go, 4 seconds. Call timeout. Knoppenberger wants timeout, and that's it. He won't get it. And it ends J.P. Stevens 64, East Brunswick 61.
I'll tell you what, J.P. Stevens is rather pleased to win this game.
Well, and they ought to be. I mean, East Brunswick played an excellent game, and this is an important game for Stevens as well. And you saw it in Vince Cirillo's face.
Right. Yeah, he knew that he was in for a game here tonight, the way East Brunswick was playing. And I'll tell you what, East Brunswick can hang its heads pretty high after this contest. Bernie Willis, I sort of lost track of his scoring there towards the end, but I believe he may emerge as the leading scorer in the game. In the fourth period alone, he had 6 field goals for 12 points plus a foul shot. Plus he had 8 other points. So let's see, 12 and 8, that's 20. So he has 21 points, and I think that ties him with Tony Newsom for leading scorer in the game. So a nice job by Bernie Wilson in the fourth quarter.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been fine effort by several East Brunswick players. Trent started out very well. And Larry Stevorn impressed me tonight. He played a super game. Matter of fact, all of East Brunswick played a solid all-around game against a fine J.P. Stevens team, and you're right. There's certainly nothing to hang their head about.
Well, I think the key is, too, that we're seeing this East Brunswick team improve. They've played better and better each week and against some tough competition. And as we said at the beginning of the season, the GMC Red Division is not a division to sneeze at. That there's some tough competition, and East Brunswick's had to learn a lot this year. They've developed a lot as a team. And it was a good close game. They lose 64-61, but up to the last 5 minutes, 8 minutes, it was anyone's ball game. And I think, as Jimmy said, Coach Knoppenberger has to be happy with that, despite the fact that the team lost.
And John, I think you hit on it when you said tough competition. It's the one thing that you got to like about all East Brunswick teams is that they don't duck from the tough competition. They had number 2 Linden, number 2 in the state. They played in that McCorston tournament down in Trenton, and they seem to go out and look for the toughest guys. This way they can truly evaluate their own abilities, and you got to like that.
I think my comment is that's true of the whole East Brunswick program, athletic program. You look at the wrestling team, they go after the best teams that they can go play. They've already beaten Union, and then also they have Delaware Valley coming up. So
good one.
It's true of the whole program.
Okay, so for Jim Allinder and Phil Hill, I'm John Meggiolaro saying thanks for being with us, and hope you stay tuned again to Channel 8 for when we cover the East Brunswick basketball team again against St. Joe's coming out of around February 9th, I believe, Tuesday evening. So we'll see you then. Thanks for being with us.